Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog. So let's get to it. All right, Roxstars. So yes, you guys are getting the front seat vantage point again. This time I got some I got some blinds in the back seat. Y'all, we getting some work done at the house and some more work done at the house. And so I've been back and forth to Lowe's and buying paint and doing all of that, you know, fun stuff. But yeah, so I haven't taken them out yet. It's a long story. Anyway, how are you all? I'm feeling overwhelmed today. You guys, you ever had like a feeling where like nothing really bad is going on in your life, but you feel some sort of, I'm like a pessimist at heart. Not necessarily a pessimist, let me take that back. But I usually am waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm always expecting when things are going really well for something to happen. And that's probably really bad. We don't want it to be a self-fulfilling, you know, prophecy or whatever. But whenever things are going just very smoothly for me and I don't really have anything to complain about within my own personal life, me individually, I start to feel like, oh, things are going too well. What's going to happen? And that's really just with me. I mean, I have friends with health problems. You know, I'm trying to help 2 young adults navigate through life. You know, my children, I still have to be a wife to my husband. Work is work, and, you know, nigga still trying to decide if she's going to retire. And I don't know, I feel really overwhelmed, you guys. Really overwhelmed. I've been feeling like this for a while, and I'm just like, look, you hear the nervous, the voice coming, you hear the shake. I'm not gonna cry, but I'm just saying that, yeah, I'm just feeling like, trying to get it together, y'all. I mean, it's not bad, but I don't feel awful. I just feel, anybody out there, I mean, you know, I'm a Capricorn, and I'm sure my other Capricorns can probably relate, but yeah, I'm trying to get it together, y'all. Anyway, how is y'all all doing on today? Okay. Top of the blogs, we got quite a few topics. I wanted to do this birthday shout out. Someone asked me to do a birthday shout out, and I'm trying to remember, what was her name? Hold on, let me get it. Okay, so Jojymama, Jojaymama 39. I don't really know what your real name is. You didn't say. Maybe you don't want me to blast your real name anyway. So yes, I wanted to say happy birthday to you. I hope you have a fantastic birthday. I think today actually is the actual birthday. And if that is true, then I hope you're enjoying yourself currently as I speak. But yeah, I guess that is it. I don't really have any other housekeeping to do here. So the gossip, let's get to it.
You keep it natural, stay in your bag like you wearing satchels.
All right, you guys, so I'm just gonna tell you guys my thoughts today. I do have notes, but I'm gonna try not to refer to them too much, which means that we probably gonna have a whole lot of inaccuracies. Y'all be like, Roxanne, you got that story all wrong, even when I do have notes, so you know how bad it is when I don't. But anyway, the whole discussion here in Atlanta, anyway, has been the Keith Lee reviews of the black restaurants, or the mom and pop, the smaller restaurants, you know, the ones that aren't chains, that aren't established like that. Okay. I had never, ever heard of Keith Lee before all this started. As a matter of fact, I was in my book club meeting last Sunday, and someone was like, Roxanne, you excited about Keith Lee being in your town? I was like, who is Keith Lee? So I had no idea. You know, I'm not really on TikTok. I go on there sometimes, just a little peek around and everything, and then I get my ass off because there'd be too much going on TikTok, and I just haven't taken the time to really figure out TikTok. So I don't really go on there. I didn't know who he was, but apparently he's a huge TikTok restaurant reviewer sensation over there. Everybody loves him because he is a fair, honest, simple reviewer. He not trying to, from what I understand, what people have explained to me is that he don't be trying to tear down businesses or nothing. He just, like many other people, it's a lucrative field. A lot of people like to watch food reviews, and, they rely very heavily on what another person has reviewed, their food. So me personally, the reason why I probably have never heard of Keith Lee is because I don't watch food reviews. It's just nothing that I'm really interested in. I've never been a mukbang. I've never been interested in that. I don't like to see people eat. I don't like to hear people talk when they chew. I don't like to, it's so many things that I don't like about when people eat. So I'm not really trying to watch a video of it. So I just never have been, okay, a food person on social media. Now, I love to eat. Me and Mr. go out every single weekend to eat. Mr. actually wants to be a food reviewer, so that's his thing, but that's never been my thing. So I had never heard of Keith Lee, okay, which is like impossible for a lot of people to understand or believe, I guess. But yeah, I just never did, you guys. And what I realized is that me and Mr. cooks a lot. Okay, and Mr. cooks a lot of soul food. Mr. cooks a lot of Creole cuisine because his family is from Louisiana. Mr. does all of that. So we get that kind of food all the time. Okay, like all the time. People be like, oh, okay, we're going to have some shrimp Creole. We're going to have some jambalaya. We're going to have some gumbo. And I'll be like, we have that all the time. So that's not a special cuisine for us. So we don't go to those kind of restaurants because we already eat that kind of food pretty often. So when we go out, we try to go to restaurants of food that we, normally wouldn't frequent. So that's probably one of the reasons why I didn't really know anything. Well, it wasn't necessarily that I didn't know anything about him, but I don't feel like I've met a lot of those same rude ways that restaurants can be. In this case, I mean, the elephant in the room is black restaurants, okay? We don't necessarily frequent black restaurants like that enough to notice that all black restaurants out here in Atlanta supposedly have bad service, okay? Now, like I know that you can have bad service at a 5-star restaurant. All right. Service is not indicative of how good the food is. However, when you go to a restaurant, you want the whole dining experience, right? You want to sit down. You want to be greeted. You want your menu choices there. You want to be able to make your selection. You want to have suggestions from your waiter if that's what you need. You want to get your food. You want it to be hot. You want it to be clean and set for you to eat. You want to eat it. You want to enjoy it. You want to consume it. You don't want to get sick from it. Like, that's what you want, right? So you should be able to have that experience whether or not you paying $15 for it or $500 for it. Okay. With that being said, we all know that you get what you pay for. So usually if you're paying less for your food, then you're not going to get Michelin star, 5-star quality type of service, okay? However, when we go to a restaurant, now I'm going to still need you to do the basics, the necessities, the things that I need for you to take care of me. And then I also need you to just have basic human decency and treat me like a special person, a patron that's coming in to spend their fucking money in your establishment. So if I go to a restaurant and you're rude to me, then there's a problem. And so apparently Keith Lee went to the Real Milk and Honey. This is where it first where it blew up and got started. I'm not sure if he had other restaurants that he went to out here before the Milk and Honey thing, but the Milk and Honey is what blew it up. Okay. And then he's just, I like see him everywhere now, but he went to the Milk and Honey. There was problems with the time, what time they came in, whether or not people were still there, people were still making orders or not. Apparently he sends his family in ahead of time because he doesn't want special treatment. And then he joins them, I suppose, at some point, which is, and then he wants to see how he's being treated as a food reviewer as opposed to just being a regular patron to the restaurant. To me, if a restaurant knows that you are a food critic, they are going to give you special service. I'm sure he's not the only one that it happens to, but that is what happens with food reviewers. You know, this restaurant is like, oh, this person is actually coming to make sure that they can get the experience of the thing. So yeah, sometimes restaurants will make accommodations for a person like him. He doesn't want you to do that. So I think he's rubbing people kind of the wrong way because he, you know what, I'm not even going to speak on it in that way. Some people like the fact that he does that, other people don't. Okay, the Milk and Honey owner had a whole lot to say, a full rebuttal of what he said. To me, when you get reviewed and when things like that happen and it's not necessarily a favorable review, you either need to accept the constructive criticism, okay, and if you respond, you need to be responding within that exception of the critical criticism, or if you feel like you can't really be like diplomatic and politically correct in this, because remember, this is your business, okay? People are going to come to your business. If you can't find yourself being just the most easiest going person when it comes to that criticism, then you don't need to do it. So when that owner responded to Keith Lee and was saying all of these reasons why, and some of those reasons were probably very legitimate, you know, it's just sort of like now it feels like excuses. You know, so it kind of puts like the restaurant in a weird kind of place because they feel like they have to defend themselves because this, again, is their business. But then also at the same time, you know, you bringing all this extra negative attention to this restaurant, whether you're doing it intentionally or not. Well, that's the problem that a lot of the restaurant people are having. And then you guys know, like I know, the internet will take something that's this big and make it as big as this. Okay, it will go from being something as simple as, okay, he went to this one restaurant and it wasn't a good experience, or he went to a couple of restaurants and it wasn't a good experience, to everything in Atlanta is bad. And that's just not the truth. It's not even the truth about Black restaurants. But I would be willing to bet that every single restaurant out there has had a bad day or two, okay? And maybe it was just that they got caught on a bad day. I don't know. I don't go to those places enough to even know, okay? But I've been to a million Black restaurant establishments, and yes, I've had bad, horrible service. I've had great service. I'm pretty easygoing. So it takes a lot for me to get to that point where I'd be like, well, no, what the fuck is going on here? Like, where the goddamn food at? We've been sitting at this goddamn table for 15 fucking minutes. Ain't even nobody came out here and asked if we wanted some water or something. I mean, can I have some utensils or some damn plates and napkins or something? Like, what the fuck? Where the bread at? Like, I ain't got no bread. Yeah, we've all been there, you know. But yeah, I'm just here to tell you that all the restaurants in Atlanta are not bad. Every restaurant can have good days and bad days. And I'm telling you, that's from the very top to the very worst restaurant out there. And that eating and your whole dining experience is relative to you. Like, it's like, depends on what you think that you need out of that visit is what you should expect. So what another person gets from their dining experience and what you get might be two separate things. So that's why I promise you, I don't watch food reviews. So it's been tiring because, like, you feel like when you live in the place, you feel like you need to defend it and all of that. Atlanta, for all of its great things that happen here in Atlanta, there's a whole bunch of bullshit in Atlanta too. Okay, but that's really anywhere. That's any city, and the same way I can say for restaurants. They've got great Black restaurants and they've got some that aren't that great. There are even restaurants out there that are known for their bad service. That's the reason why people go. Okay, it's a little campy, little pop culture-y kind of, it's like you go to, you've been to certain restaurants where they actually insult you on purpose and all of that. But yeah, I just feel like the man is doing his job. Is blown up now. Now he's saying that he's being threatened. I don't understand why his family has to be threatened, but that's the nature of the beast. That's the way the internet works, you know, you get people weighing in and getting all caught up in the conversation and everything and taking it to another level or levels. Like, it shouldn't be to the point where his damn family getting threatened. Okay. It shouldn't be that this man is trying to do a major city tour where he goes around to the big cities and goes to the restaurants that are popular, whether or not it's because the restaurant has invited him or because people have told him that that's where he should go, you know. Okay, so he's doing his job. I mean, why the nigga got to die for it? Or why his family got to be in trouble, you know, threatened in their lives and stuff? Like, it ain't nothing is worth all that, you know. So it's a shame, because this, like everything else on the internet, it gets fucked up by the people. Okay, and I don't believe that he's gotten to the point where he feels like he needs to stop his channel or anything, because I'm sure he makes good money from this. He's enjoying the perks and everything. He's well known. People notice him and everything. But like I said, yeah, the internet just messes these kind of things up, because the man is just trying to do a job to provide for you guys, and it gotten messed up now. You know, now he got to put a pause on things. He got to see if y'all just playing, if y'all serious or what, you know, and I'm sure that's putting a little dent in his pocket. It's like all this just because he said what he said about milk and honey. And then, you know, he went to Candy's old lady gang, and, you know, we've heard stories about old lady gang too, and he said that, you know, they was having the whole problem with the sitting thing, and, you know, him sending his family in and all that. Candy did Candy did respond, and she was gracious. You know, she did try to explain some of the reasons why she, you know, the restaurant was running the way that it was, but she was gracious. And, you know, you got to know that criticism comes with everything. I mean, it's a part of my job when I review these shows. I would hope that people that are on those shows realize that I'm doing a job just like they are, and that I'm not trying to be malicious, and I'm not really trying to, I try really hard not to, like, I can joke about a person, you know, and laugh about them, because I would hope that people, knowing that they are in that environment, of course not everybody is going to love them. So, you know, there may be times where I might be jokingly talking or teasing about somebody, but I never feel like I am that mean, or like, it never feels like I'm attacking somebody. I'm saying something and either I'm joking about it or I'm just telling you what it is, you know. So I would hope that those people are not that sensitive to know that, you know, I'm not trying to do anything to them personally. But then still being on this channel, I have to also realize that there's times when people don't like me or don't like what I say or agree with what I say and all of that. And, you know, I think that Keith Lee, from what I've seen anyway, seems to do that graciously. He knows that he can't make everybody happy, and that he's just trying to do this one service for folks, and that, you know, either you accept it or you don't, you know. So, I mean, I guess I don't even know what I'm supposed to feel about this. I think that it's a great thing that for people that rely on those type of reviews, if that's what they want, then he's there to do it. But I want to say that every restaurant in Atlanta is not horrible. Just like I can say that not every black restaurant in other cities are great. Okay? It's bad restaurants, bad service, bad food, bad people all over, you know. So, you know, I think that you need to take his reviews, and you either need to, you know, agree or disagree. You take it with a grain of salt, you know, or you rely heavily on it. You go to it, you experience it yourself, you figure it out if that's what you want on your own. But, you know, it's like all this that didn't happen. This is the way that he's blown up, although I think that it will in the end help him. You know, you got to go through the shit first, and then you come out like on the other side, and, you know, everything is good. So I think that that's going to happen with him as well. But while he's in the middle of this, where they threatening his family, he feel like he got to stop things and all of that. Yeah, that's the bullshit that's tiring. Okay. But I think that in the future, you know, Keith Lee, this is going to help him as long as he's able to keep himself grounded, because we've also, what's going on with this wig, y'all? Because, is that better? That's better. Because we've also seen when people get too big for their britches, and, you know, when they start to blow up, and then it's too much for them to handle, and then it'd be like a bust. Okay, I don't want that for Keith Lee. I don't think that will happen to him. He seems to be a pretty good guy, mild-mannered and understandable. So we're gonna see how this whole thing work out and everything. But yeah, the internet just makes everything 20 times worse, child. 20 times at least. What you guys think? Do you guys follow Keith Lee? From what I understand, he has millions of followers on TikTok, and he's got a lot of videos and reviews and things like that. So you guys check him out. I'm assuming that his videos are probably on YouTube as well, because he should be maximizing his income. So, wherever you guys find him. But you guys let me know what you think about the Keith Lee reviews, his recent run-in with the folks here in Atlanta. Y'all let me know what you think.
Hey, baby, you a godsend, just missing the sandals. But still, you ain't missing much. Put your hands on my back.
All right, you guys, next story up. Saucy Santana decided to defend his very good friend Carisha from the City Girls. You guys know her as Young Miami, okay? But her mama named her Carisha Romika Brownlee, okay? Now, we've been knowing for many years that Young Miami and Saucy Santana are good friends. We've seen them out. They do things together. There's a friendship there. There is a man named DJAkademiks. Mama named him Livingston Allen. Okay. Saucy Santana and Mr. Allen, Livingston, if you will, have been going back and forth over this past week because of some of the things that, not some of the things, but most of the things that DJAkademiks says. Okay. Saucy Santana, like many of us, was fed up because apparently, now I don't follow DJAkademiks. I don't watch him or anything, but he has a show, and it seems like he kind of reminds you of like one of those antisocial gamer kids that just be in their room on the damn Xbox all day with this head thing on and all. Like when I see him, he strikes me as the type that just seems like he's always in front of the camera, like, but not out there in real life, like experiencing. And he has all of these opinions, okay? Now he's a personality on social media. He has the right to have his opinions, just like all the rest of us. Okay, and there's many people between the damn videos and podcasts and shit. We all got opinions, like assholes, right? So he's allowed to have an opinion. However, DJAkademiks, the way that he has talked about women. Now, I am not normally the one to just, like right now, the woman is the hot thing. And what I mean by that is it's very, everybody wants to say, protect the woman, don't nobody protect the woman. And, it's like, so everything is woman is what I'm saying. And that's good, because I like to think that I am a lover of women myself. Not like that, but you guys know what I mean. Like, women need to be glorified and put on pedestals and admired and all of that, because women are awesome. Okay. Yet and still, there's some fucked up women out there, and I understand that too. So I don't believe that all women are that, but I am a believer in women. I hope you guys would know that about me already. Okay. I can't really say I'm a feminist, because I feel like there's certain things I am still like, let the man handle that. Okay. Like they can have that shit. Let me be over here and be cute and soft and pretty. Okay. So I can't really say that I'm like a 100% just like I'm a woman, I can do it. I'm just not that person. But I don't like when men especially go and target women and say things about them. I don't like it more when, or should I say, I like it even less when it's a black man talking about a black woman. And that is what DJAkademiks does quite often. Okay. Now, maybe if he sprinkled in having problems with men too, then maybe we wouldn't feel like he's so obviously biased one-sided when it comes to women. But he don't really talk about men. Not like that. Not with the vitriol behind what he says about women. And it's gotten to the point where now everybody notices it. I don't even follow him. I don't deal with none of the kind of stuff that DJAkademiks does, but now it's just sort of like, what the fuck? I mean, how you just saying all of this crazy? You know, every time it shows up on a video or on like Shade Room or Neighborhood Talk or Ice Cream Combos, whenever them kind of things show up on those channels, I mean, on those pages, I am just so flabbergasted about the things that he says. Like, he doesn't ever check himself. He don't seem to call himself back on the things that he's saying. Everybody has an opinion, but that don't mean that you have to tell everybody your opinion. There's some things that you probably need to be left unsaid. You can feel that way, but you don't necessarily need to be blurting it out just to the general population for their consumption, right? So the shit that he says is just ridiculous. He was talking about the latest that's been the problem is him talking really bad about Glorilla, which is crazy. Like, what's going on with Glorilla? Like, y'all don't like Glorilla no more? It was all Glorilla. It was Glorilla, glow everywhere. Okay, and then Sexy Red came, just knocked Glorilla completely out. Now y'all don't like her cha-cha-cha song, which is really stupid to me. But, you know, now y'all done kick Glow to the curb because of Sexy. You know, there's enough room for all them girls. But anyway, he talks so bad about women. And some of the things, maybe some women have maybe put themselves out there, not necessarily in the most positive way and all. I get it, okay? But it still seems like he singles out women and he don't give them no mercy. And quite honestly, we sick of it. Now, the conundrum is that he's a man and he usually attacks women. So now you be having women having to go back and forth with him as a man. You got a man and a woman going back and forth. And it's just sort of like, you know, most women ain't feeling like fighting back with him. You know, he probably knows that. That's why he does it. He's not going to get much pushback from women. You know, old women will be catty. They'll say something and then he going to move on. That's not going to worry him. Like, if he said that shit about a nigga, this nigga going to go and find his ass and beat his ass. Okay? So he don't say that about men, so he ain't got to worry about a man coming up there to beat his ass. But he says these things about women. What woman is going to really, honestly, realistically go and seek out DJ Akademiks and try to fight him? Not many. Maybe Jocelyn. That's the conundrum. He can say what he wants, and then he's attacking these women, and then the women don't really never go back at him because it's just like, you know. So what worked out better to me in this situation is Saucy Santana stepped in for Young Miami and told DJ Akademiks, you know, I'm just shortening it up for you. But he was just like, listen, you going back and forth with all these women. Like, what is wrong with you? You got a problem with every woman out there? Okay, well, now here I am. Okay, I am a man who is now addressing you. Yes, Saucy Santana is gay, but ain't nobody out there about to call Saucy a woman. I'm sorry. That motherfucker is big and strong and look like he can whoop some ass. He goes by a male, you know, he is a man. He's not trying to be a woman. And, yes, he dresses and he nails and makeup and all of that, but you look at Saucy and you still see a man. I mean, at least I do, okay? So, and if I was a man, I wouldn't be trying to get no tussle with that nigga. Look like he can fight. Okay. So now he responds to him and tells him like, okay, well, you don't want to fight. You know, you talking about these women, then you come fight me. Okay. Come see me. All right, like, we gonna be outside. DJ Akademiks responded and told him that they needed to come visit him at his headquarters if they wanted to have a conversation, because Saucy was like, oh, Miami is having a party and all that for Halloween. And so Saucy was like, we not trying to come to headquarters so that you can call the police on us. No, we talking about being outside. We just want to catch you in the grocery store, okay? We want to catch you when you coming out of Sam's Club. We want to see you when you walking into the mall. We want to see you when you leaving church. That's the kind of outside. We're not trying to come to headquarters. Okay? Headquarters. Saucy cracked me up when he said that, because it was just sort of like you could tell that DJ Akademiks, he didn't really know how to maneuver. This was going to catch him off guard, because now it's another man that you're arguing with. Even though you can still say, oh, Saucy gay and he be wearing makeup and all of this. this is still another man that you're talking to now. So now what? So then DJ Akademiks comes back out. I'm sorry, I left out a very important part of that conversation. When Saucy Santana was responding to him that second time, Saucy called him the F word. If you're not in that community, you really shouldn't even be saying it. But Saucy said it. He's in that community, so he can. You know how I feel about nigga. That's how Saucy feels about that word, I'm probably sure too. And most gay people probably as well. Okay? It's an insulting word. That's what it's supposed to be. But you know, like, that's a word that's just for them and their community. They use it the way they want to. So he said that, and he also said when they catch him outside, then he's going to F him in his ASS. And he said that's what they do to men like him because he is a bitch. He goes after women. He don't never have nothing to say about a man, and he's been getting away with it for years, and Saucy is sick of it. Okay?
It's a different touch. Put your ass on my plate. I don't skip the lunch. I don't skip the brunch. Not the dinner neither. And we hella close, not a centimeter. Getting in between is all you two turned up. Never turn down though. When there's big energy, when I come around though. So don't ever switch. No, you've been looking, won't find.
So Saucy was like, I'm not talking about nobody else but DJ Akademiks. All right. Now, once that was done, and you know, some people did have pause against. I had no problem with it because, again, I'm not in that community, but I felt like I was watching something that I had been wanting somebody over there to do. Not necessarily the gay community, just a person to come back at DJ Akademiks and actually make him feel something. And sure enough, this nigga DJ Akademiks get on the social media yesterday and was crying. What are you crying for? You're the one that said all of this shit about people over these years. You done said so many foul things about all of these different women especially. But now you crying. The bully. Okay? That's always what it is. The one that then got in the fight when your kids was little and the little one then beat up the older one. You go in there thinking it was the big one that jumped on the little one, but the little one is the one that done jumped on the big one. All right? And you confused. The little one is crying. Fuck wrong with you? You done beat your big brother's ass. But the little one is trying to throw you off. Okay, so that he don't get his ass whooped. It's the same situation here. DJ Akademiks, in my opinion, has said all of the vile things that he has said about women unchecked. People have been letting him say it. He just been saying it. Saucy said the shit that he said. Yes, it was politically incorrect or whatever, but Saucy said what he said back to him. And now the nigga's crying. One exchange back and forth a few times and you crying? And his whole thing is that he don't want to go against Saucy because he feels like Saucy has the power and the strength of the gay community behind him. And we know that the gay community definitely has a huge stronghold on the music and, you know, in the entertainment industry or whatever. So he is now saying he's crying, and to me it was like he was trying to play on the sympathy of these gay folks by saying, you know, you got a person out there that's representing your community coming and threatening and saying all these horrible things to me, and I can't even respond because I know that if I do, then you guys are all gonna attack me. Okay, so you know, the tears, I guess we were supposed to feel sorry for him. I love the fact that Young Miami in the comments when he had posted that, she went underneath and put, yeah, and nobody felt bad for me when you was laughing at me when I was 6 months pregnant with my child and my damn car got shot up. Okay? Or when he talked about her dead baby daddy, or when he, you know, he has said a lot of things that is extremely hurtful. Nobody realizes the effect that his things that he's saying can hurt a person. But now we supposed to feel sorry for, nigga, we don't feel sorry for you. And you guys know I am a bleeding heart. Like, I always give people second chances. So it takes a lot for me to be like, nigga, you know, I usually can figure out a way to feel sorry for somebody. But in DJ Akademiks' case, I don't feel sorry for him at all. Like, I don't care. You can cry. You have said the things that you said and all of this. And Maybe it's just time for an internet break. Sometimes we get so caught up in the internet and the things that happen on there that we start to lose our focus. We start to lose our sight. We start to do things and say things, and everybody, the attention on it. I feel like that's the part of social media that I don't want Keith Lee to be a part of. Like when you start getting to this point where you so big that everything is just out of control and chaotic and you feel like you need to step back. Maybe that's where DJAkademiks is now. Okay? You done said and did a whole lot. Maybe it's time to take a break. Let's try to meet up with the team and figure out how we can rebrand this and maybe make us look a little bit better. Okay? I'm not saying he shouldn't be true to himself and his feelings. He feels how he feels. But what he gonna have to learn how to do is if you can't respect women for whatever they are doing, then maybe you just don't need to comment on it at all. Now, I know that would be hard for him because he talks about these things just like I do and everybody else. But I still feel like there's a way for him to be, without him being his normal asshole self about women, like he can still satisfy his fans, whoever watch him. But he gonna even have to recognize, I'm sure somebody in his camp has told him that you a little too hard on women. And if nobody on this camp has told him that, then he need a new camp. Okay? You do too much. I don't feel sorry for you and the heat that's coming towards you or anything, because when you talk bad about people, you mean to people, you ugly to people, you nasty to people, then you don't deserve good things when shit, like when you're that kind of person. Okay? So, whatever. Child, you can tell I didn't have no notes on that, Nigga got up on her box. But yeah, I'm just like, he up here sitting here crying. Boy, what is you crying? Why are you crying exactly? Because he said he was gonna fuck you in your ASS? Okay? I guess I should have spelled the other word too, but that's why you crying? Nigga, how about apologize? How about say I shouldn't have said a lot of the things that I've said about women, and I'm sorry? How about saying I feel this way towards women because, like, maybe there's something to unpack there. Do you like your mama? Okay? Your mama a black woman? I'm positive that she is. Do you like your aunties, your grannies, your nieces, your cousins, your girl cousins? Do you have anything of redeeming quality when it comes to you talking about black women? You figure out a way to say something nice about somebody, and maybe somebody might like you. But the fact that you so nasty all the time, then, honey, at least black women gonna be like, you can be over there with whatever you got going on over there, and we don't care. I'm sitting back. I'm not in the gay community, but I'm a black woman, and I'm just gonna sit and watch with my popcorn to see how this whole thing, rest of this thing with DJAkademiks and SaucySantana plays out. We're gonna see if anybody else from the gay community chimes in, with him crying about, him being afraid that the gay community is going to attack him. Like, we gonna see in these next few days if anybody else has anything to say about the things that DJAkademiks has done. But I'm just telling y'all that it don't make no damn sense that this man been out here talking reckless the way that he has, and then he expect us to feel sorry for him because he crying. Nigga, please, fuck you. Next story.
Like this, know you been looking for a nigga that handed them curves. I'm Jimmy Johnson with this. I'm Jimmy Johnson.
All right,
with
you guys, next story up. So there's a rumor out there that Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union Wade. She never hyphenated her name, but they're saying that Dwayne and Gabrielle Union have separated now. Nobody has come out and made an official announcement, but this has been floating around in these internet streets for the last couple of weeks. I've been hearing it. I was waiting to see if I could see any proof of it on the Instagram. I was trying to see if I was going to see either of them say anything about it. They haven't. Neither one of them have. No statements have been made on their behalf. Okay. But what we have noticed is that Gabrielle Union has not posted Dwayne Wade or any of his kids with his first wife. We know she ain't never posting that little kid, that little boy with the jump off, okay, the break baby. who wasn't really a break baby, but whatever. She hasn't been posting any of them. They said it's been over a month since she's posted anything or even mentioned any of her stepchildren with him. She's only been posting herself and her little girl, Kavia, if that's how you say her name. Now, a month is really not that long, okay? So I guess it just depends on if you follow Gabby Union, then maybe she used to always post them. And so now that's why it looks strange that she's not posting them, because I'm just like, I mean, it might be months before I decide to post my husband or my kids or something, so that don't necessarily mean that there's anything wrong. I just haven't posted them. So I guess maybe because she usually was posting them, that's why people started to notice. But she hasn't posted him. They haven't posted her. I think Dwayne Wade just recently posted. It was her birthday. So, of course, he's going to post for her birthday, even if it's just to keep up appearances. Okay, but neither one of them are wearing their wedding rings any longer. I'm assuming they still follow each other. I mean, I would hope that after all the time that they've been together that, we look on there and say, oh, they're not following anymore, following each other anymore. That means that they've broken up. But yeah, it's like, it's looking like these two may be separated. There is a podcast called DeuxMoi, okay? DEUXMOI. DeuxMoi. That's to me. Is that right, Jolie? But the podcast says that they are heading towards divorce. I won't put the D word on it. Sometimes couples separate. They just need a little space. Everybody get their head back right, and then we get back in the game. So maybe that's where they are. Even with me not liking Gabrielle Union, I still don't want them to. I don't want to see them two break up. I thought that they had a beautiful family, and they all seemed very supportive of each other. So I would hope that, they can make it through this. But yeah, that's what they saying, y'all. That's what they saying. I was like, boy. I always wondered, though, how strong really that union was. Okay, no pun intended. But I always just felt a way that anytime a woman, now I've never been in this situation, so I may be very ignorant in this sentiment. But let me just say, to me, any woman that can be with a man who had an outside child, first of all, that would be the line draw for me. I couldn't be with somebody that I was with who cheated on me and decided to have another baby. That's where I would draw the line. Okay, y'all got me on video saying that. Okay. But if I had decided to stay in the marriage, then, okay, now we got to come to some agreements on this. Now, you got this kid. That's your child, your own flesh and blood. I'm not going to have a problem with you being, you having to be around this boy. This boy can come around us. He needs to know his siblings, all of that. But I am not fixing to fuck with that girl, okay? And maybe it's going to take some time for me to... So what I'm saying is the fact that Gabrielle Union has made it clear that she don't want her or her kid to have any kind of contact with that cheat baby lets me know, one, you haven't really forgiven him, okay? I ain't said you needed to forget. I said you either going to forgive and you going to deal with the situation, or you going to be a bitch and you just going to be like, no, that child can't come around. Now, to me, that's like wrong. That kid ain't asked to be here. That child was born into this. And now they got to be dealing with, a stepmother that don't want to fuck with them because their daddy was stupid enough to go and cheat on you with this woman. Well, that's my mama. Okay. Just like this is my daddy. Those are my brothers and my sister over there. Like, why can't, like, to me, she ain't got to have no kind of dealings with the woman. Well, maybe that's not being realistic, because a lot of times things will fall on the woman. But I feel like, to me, what I'm saying, all the bottom line is, I think it's heartless to say that a child cannot be around their father and their siblings. I just think that's a heartless way to be. Okay. And that when it originally happened, I understood because she was pissed. And her ego was bruised. She had been cheated on. She was hurt. You know, all of the feelings that came with that. I understand that. But then over the years, as time has gone on and you softened and, you know, you guys are in a good place and, you know, he might even express like maybe I want to have the kid around more. It's just sort of like, why you not, you just going to be like, no? Really? No, just flat out no, huh? We not even gonna try to compromise or bend on that one, huh? Okay, well then we can't be together. Now I don't know if that's what their problem is, but I feel like that should be a part of the problem. Is that you got this woman who has put her full foot down and said that boy ain't around us. Now it might be other shit that's going on in the background, and of course we are not privy to that. And but I'm just talking about just the situation with this little boy. Okay, that little boy got to be close to 8, 9, 10 or something. Like, you really? So anyway, I'm talking too long about it. But yeah, I just was like, something wrong with Gabby. I've always felt that Gabby was a mean person, even before she admitted that she was. She is the type that sweats on her nose and her right here. My mom say this mean bitch right here, sweat right here, you bitch, you mean. Okay. And but she just seems like, she's always seemed like that type to me. So that's just me speculating on the relationship. Now, I might have said all that and they might just be fine, and Instagram might just be lying and not knowing what the hell they talking about. So there's that as well. Take all that with a grain of salt, or take it with the weight of the world, whichever one you want it to be. All right. But yeah, that's what the streets are saying. What say you? Y'all believe it?
That I attest, I'm like running this bitch. I cycle, I swim, and I run. Whatever you need, I'll try out the line with the dick. Turn on the lights, take a flick. Just don't be running this shit. Hey.